Ah, yes. To be happy, joyous, and free again. Like you're a child chasing an ice cream truck on a pink cloud. Just joyous, happy, and free. What does it mean to be happy, joyous, and free? And what is a spiritual awakening in early sobriety? Hi, I'm Soberdelic James, soon to be Sober James again. I am Sober James. I have been for going on 6 months. Well, non-consecutively, about 15 years. Well, anywho, what does it mean to be happy, joyous, and free in early sobriety? What is a pink cloud? Is happiness, joy, and freedom just a pink cloud in disguise? Is a pink cloud bad? Is a pink cloud sustainable? What is a spiritual awakening? What is a spiritual experience? How does Alcoholics Anonymous define a spiritual awakening? Hi, I'm Sober James. You may be remembering me from such films as What's Up, John Venturini? Are you happy, joyous, and free? Have you experienced a spiritual experience? Are you experienced a Jimi Hendrix experience, perhaps? Do you know anyone that's happy, joyous, and free? It seems to me that they're out there, and every once in a while you you may remember me from such films as Karate Kid Part 2. Who am I from Karate Kid Part 2? I'm that one guy, man. I've been happy, joyous, and free, or have I just been on a pink cloud that will dissolve into the despair and sadness that we all know as adult life? Well, no, I've been pretty free. I've been pretty happy. I've been pretty joyous. Let's read the daily reflection. Today is the 24th, and it is called Happiness, Joyousness, and Freedom. The Alcoholics Daily Reflection you can easily find through Google. Happy, joyous, and free for May 24th. We are sure God wants us to be happy, joyous, and free. We cannot subscribe to the belief that this life is a vale of tears, though it once was just that for many of us. But it is clear that we made our own misery. God didn't do it. Avoid then the deliberate manufacture of misery. But if trouble comes, clearly capitalize it as an opportunity to demonstrate his omnipotence. If trouble comes, cheerfully capitalize it as an opportunity to demonstrate God's omnipotence. I had to look that word up. It means all powerful. That is from Alcoholics Anonymous, page 133. For years I believed in a punishing God and blamed him for my misery. I have learned that I must lay down the weapons of self in order to pick up the tools of the AA program. I do not struggle with the program because it is a gift, and I have never struggled when receiving a gift. If I sometimes keep on struggling, it's because I'm still hanging on to my old ideas, and the results are nil. Vinny Vintage, what up? Yeah, man. Sober James, the channel, is back. I have 2 days now before I can actually change the name back to Sober James, but I'm excited to be Sober James again. I'm experiencing a spiritual experience in helping others, doing for others, thinking of others, not just thinking of myself. I'm also riding a pink cloud. I have no delusions about this. Pink cloud is a street term on the streets of Alcoholics Anonymous. that means basically you're so happy to be sober, and once you sober up, or as soon as you put the drink down, good things start happening. But working the 12 steps of AA, all kinds of stuff happens, and you become euphoric, gleeful. What's up with the glitchers, man? I don't like it. But yes, happiness, joyousness, and freedom. It's a stretch for the imagination. Logic would have it, as we come out of our dark cloud of misery, that happiness cannot be attained. Joy is a far-fetched, and freedom. I mean, some of us have come to from a blackout in jail. So when putting down the drugs and alcohol, happiness, joyousness, and freedom, it's nowhere to be found. Or is it? Hi, I'm Sober James. What's up, Gail? JV, VV, and Miss Hashtag Holly Ford likes the thumbnail. Well, thank you. It's one of my crafts I've been taking up, thumbnails. Thumbnails, descriptions, tags, and titles. Hi, I'm Sober James. It's Friday. Let's relax. My AC is out. I ripped my sleeves off. You know what I mean? It's the weekend. I have been working hard on the channel, but you don't care about that. There is ancient philosophies that suggest it is the journey, and a man and a woman, for that matter, gets joy and happiness through pursuing and working towards goals. In fact, at retirement, some men lose their minds. I have an uncle. Doesn't lose his mind. His mind was already lost. Hi, I'm Soberdelic James. Mental health awareness is very important in early sobriety and in relapse. Burb. Have you ever noticed this, everybody? Anybody? Everybody? Everybody. Working towards a goal is actually what brings gratification. And some people, you know what I mean? I've been playing pickleball lately. You play pickleball, Venturini? Apply for TikTok live stream access today. No stream keys required. Yeah, pickleball is pretty fun. A little bit too much of sun for me. I find myself not worrying on the pickleball court. In fact, it's so subtle I didn't even realize it, that I wasn't worrying. Same thing kind of happens on the disc golf course. You know what I mean, man? Mike Stucker's still feeling guilty about the past. Work the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, Mike Tucker. Read the big book. Get a sponsor. Go to meetings. That's how we no longer regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. That's how we achieve happiness, joy, and freedom. We can't be free if we're shackled with our own guilt, remorse, and thoughts about the past. I can tell you with honesty and confidence, I no longer regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. I don't regret any of the things. I just know now that life is life, and it is what it is, and we're in God's hands. There is only one place that you can be physically. So always come back to your body. If you're in the past, you're not in your body, and if you're in the future, you're not in your body. You know what I mean, man? Mike Tucker, work the 12 steps, go to an AA meeting or several. 90 in 90 days comes to mind. Get a sponsor, help others. Read the big book. You know? Everything you need to know, I just said. All you can do is say sorry to people and move on. Yeah, somewhat true, but making amends is more than saying sorry. If you owe them money, you make a financial amends. If you owe them a back rub, you give them a back rub or a foot rub. You know what I mean? If the ghosts of your undone foot rubs of the past are haunting you, maybe you got a foot rub or two to give. No, in all seriousness, making amends is making them whole, making yourself whole by filling in whatever hole you left, whether it's financial, emotional, physical. Did you kill someone's dog? Well, get them another dog that looks just like it. That's making amends. Right. Neither did I, Mike Tucker. Neither did any of us. It's all in the big book, brother. I don't know how many times I have to tell you. Read the big book. It doesn't take energy. You can literally lay on your back. What up, Glom? Read the big book. Mike Tucker. You can download the Everything AA app and read the big book for free or listen to it. So you must take action. Faith without works is dead. You're dead inside. You're regretting the past. You are feeling like a bump on a log, like a fuddy-dud. Well, take some action and do one of the things that you know have been suggested by people that have come before you. Alcoholics that have come before you that are now happy, joyous, and free. All you have to do is listen to what they have done to get what they get. Keep doing what you're doing to get what you've always got. Confession, that's a step 5. Admitting to yourself, God, and to another human being the exact nature of your wrongs. That's in the remember last night's live stream where I said some of the oldest spiritual practices are in the 12 steps. One is confession. Glom is on vacation, Bryce Canyon, staying in a little cabin. Utah is a beautiful state. Right on, man. I am happy, joyous, and free for you. Man, I bet you're feeling real free up there. Well, let's see. What time is it in Utah? Is it nightfall yet? Is there scary sounds in the woods? Are there stars out? Should I end up in Colorado or Oregon? Let me know in the comments. Yes. Thank you, John Venturini. I would do Oregon. Well, Colorado I hear is gorgeous. I've actually never been to either of them, so I can't informatively inform you. Oi, oi, oi. What up, homie? Oh, Daniel Kopic was right about gabapentin being physically addictive. So, well, I never said it wasn't. All All I'm saying is addictive, except for physical. I now know, thanks to Daniel Kopic, the word addictive is relative, except for physical. I now know, thanks to Daniel Kopic. Hi, I'm Sober James. You may be... I can't say it. You may be... I can't even say it. I don't know why. You may be remembering... You may remember me from such films. You may remember me from such live streams as... I have a shotgun, and I'm going to blast the entire Ready to Die album by the Notorious B.I.G. Hi. I fell in love with a beaver once, John. Yeah, Daniel Kopic, my only point on Daniel Kopic has taught me something, and that is physical addiction is not really relative at all. Physical addiction is when your body physically reacts to a drug and you withdraw from it if you have certain doses for certain lengths of time. Now, there's also mental addiction, obsession, habitual use, abuse. This is all I'm saying, is that there are different types of addictive behaviors. You can't, for instance, be physically addicted to gambling, although that could be argued too, relatively, because your palms might get sweaty and you might love walking through the casino physically. You can get physically addicted to nicotine, and also mentally addicted, and also forms habits and also become dependent on it. Gabapentin is physically addictive for sure, according to my friend Daniel Kopic and my light research. So, Daniel, I apologize for, being a fuddy-dud. Addiction is definitely only simple when we refer to chemical addiction. However, what leads to that the psychological has endless roads to go down as for what the root of addiction is. Right, abuse, mental, habitual use, dependence. Morgan died from cancer. Morgan, 53 years old, rest in peace. Morgan Spurlock, the guy from the MCD's documentary, Supersized Me, died. Oh, yeah. That sucks. Rest in peace, Morgan. Now, is McDonald's physically addictive? Can you be happy, joyous, and free if you are physically addicted to Big Macs? The answer at 11. Hi. I'm Sober James. Again. I changed my name in 2 days back to Sober James. For all of my die-hard friends and fans. The Soberdelic era has come to an end. I do not regret the past, nor do I wish to shut the door on it. I've had a spiritual awakening which has not only relieved me of the obsession to drink and smoke pot. I mean, all my life I've been getting messed up on everything from Robitussin to paint thinner to Dramamine, Benadryl, Xanax, Molly. We called it ecstasy. Ecstasy makes you feel happy, joyous, and free. Happiness, joy, and freedom comes from working the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous to the best of your ability, with all honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. That's how you do it. Hi, I'm Sober James. Did you guys check out my, I'm going to get busy on the shorts recently. I'm going to get busy on the shorts recently. That's like a paradox of time and space. Casino was always my cross addiction. Yeah, you felt comfortable in the casino? MCDs. Oh, McDonald's. Yeah, Miss Crispy Deluxe fries and a Coke. It really does. Sometimes I just can't help myself. I know it's worse than crack and heroin and methamphetamines combined. Yeah, casinos are professionally and scientifically and psychologically designed to hook you. That's why they hired casino designers and slot machine designers to design Instagram and Facebook. And the old TikTok, you know what I'm saying, and Snapchat and all of that. John Venturini says, I'd rather have connection and great conversation. If that's with a book or my writing or a dear friend, that's what I was longing for. Oh. It is said that connection is the opposite of addiction. When we connect, we feel a pink cloud of sorts, a spiritual experience of sorts, and happiness, joy, and freedom of sorts. When I do this with you guys, I feel happy, joyous, and free. I don't know if I told you this before, but I only now act as free as I do on this channel in public. So in other words, I'm not always like I am on this channel. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down, but like, I don't talk this freely with people for some reason. You guys aren't people. LSD. Well, thank you, Miss Ford. There are things that feel good and are good for you, Mike says. Those are what we need more of. Sure. Let's well, right off the tip of the head, I immediately think of the sex word. That feels good and is good for you. However, just like water, even water, you can have too much of it and abuse it. JV says that's why I always say our love, strength, and wisdom starts inside first. We let that grow and then we can share that with anyone, anywhere at any time. Right. And JV, if you haven't heard, this book, Drop the Rock, is a good one. It's a short read, and it mentions how procrastination and sloth can keep our minds jumbled up so much that we have no time and energy for, say, having dinner with a friend. Yeah, casinos. I've been to a few casinos. Even when I had some money to burn, I enjoy it. I don't get the stock market is my casino, to be honest. Casinos, I just know, just like strip clubs, I just know when I'm in there, I got to keep my hand on my wallet. You know what I mean? It feels like your wallet's just going to fly out of your pocket. Bringing it back to the basics, making sure you are taken care of first and foremost. It's the masks dropping when the cabin pressure goes out. You cover yourself first and then anyone else. Yes. Speaking on being able to share, you can only share what you have. If you're miserable, restless, irritable, and discontent, that's what you'll be sharing. Happy, joyousness, and freedom, you can share that as well. So it's very true in many ways, JV, what you're saying about inside out recovery, basically. I've noticed this firsthand, and I'm sure you have too, and everybody has little spurts of happiness, joyousness, and freedom that they can share. But what we're talking about here is a sustainable pink cloud. Once we do have what is coined as built-in forgetters, meaning we forget how bad it got in our drinking and using days after sustained sobriety for a while. We forget how bad it got. We even start to forget the reasons why we quit. There is many. Then, on the other hand, if we're months into a drinking, using, addictive behavior binge or bender, we forget how good sobriety gets. It's a double-edged sword, if you will. Mike Tucker, I'll give you a spurt of happiness. I am grateful for... Well, thank you, John Venturini. Truth be told, I'm grateful for you as well. And Miss Ford. And Rafe Houghton. And Mike Tucker. What's up, Rafe? Which sober celebrity do you find inspirational? I'm going to say Anthony Hopkins and Eminem. I believe they are both in AA as well. Right, I have an Anthony Hopkins speaker tape on this channel. 2 of them, actually. If you look up Anthony Hopkins, Sober James, you can find it. Eminem I have yet to cover, but he's been sober for almost 17 years. Sober and clean. He was into the pills, I think. I really admire both of them because they're both in industries where the booze flows like rain and the pills, flow like hail. Shades in the building, shades of clarity in the building. Danny Trejo is his favorite celebrity that got sober. Hey, what's up, Tramiel? I don't know if I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I have a favorite. I like Danny Trejo, although, I'm not really sure. I haven't met any of them. That's the thing. Samuel L. Jackson's been sober for 26 years, but I haven't met him, so I can't tell you if he's my favorite or not. But as far as personalities in the spotlight, I admire any actor, musician, really anybody in the entertainment business that can maintain sobriety among that scene. Yeah, Tramiel, well, you all know I have Danny Trejo's story on this channel. I just did Danny Trejo's short to get the message out there, a short reel. Danny Trejo's on this channel, Anthony Hopkins, Craig T. Nelson, the voice of the father on The Incredibles and from Poltergeist. He was also in the show Coach. Anthony Hopkins really does, when he speaks at meetings, he really does encompass the humility and the gratitude of Alcoholics Anonymous. Bonnie Raitt is in recovery. Jamie Lee Curtis got sober. I think pills were her thing. Brad Pitt, Bradley Cooper. I think Bradley Cooper is Brad Pitt's sponsor. I'm not sure though. I want to go to the Beverly Hills men's meeting. They got their own they got their own secret meeting where, only they know about. And man, I would love to be a fly on the wall at that meeting. Eddie Van Halen drank and smoked himself to an early grave. Vinny Vintage says. John Frusciante, if he's still sober, his arms are littered with scars, half of his tattoos, the root because of his years of heroin addiction. Right. Another one of my favorites is Anthony Kiedis. Same thing. Him and John most definitely did heroin and speedballs together. And Flea was probably there as well. But Anthony had it bad. That's a good book, Scar Tissue by Anthony Kiedis. The ones that haven't made it. Janis Joplin, Amy Winehouse, Jimi Hendrix. I don't know if his thing was, he was most definitely on some psychedelics and stuff, but I don't know if he was into heroin and stuff. John Belushi, heavy drinker. John Candy, Robin Williams, heavy cocaine user. Richard Pryor. DMX lived near me. Like, I go disc golfing where DMX lived. Hillel Slovak didn't make it, or Hillel didn't make it. Lil Peep, Juice WRLD, James Douglas Morrison, Matthew Perry. However, what's that other guy from Friends that is sober? There's also Champ Kind from Anchorman. What's his name? John. I did a short on him. He has a weird last name. Craig Ferguson is sober. We all drink to feel normal, Vinny. Yeah, it's a sickness, Rafe. It happens to the best of them. And which is why I am convinced only a power greater than us can restore us to sanity. There's channels out here where what's that stupid channel? Put the Shovel Down, where she's like, there's only one way to cure addiction, and that's outsmart it. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? Who is this? Rhymes with witch. And I'm like, first of all, you're not an addict, obviously. If you say some shit like that, you are not an addict. You might say some, you might think you're smart enough for a while, but you'll either die trying or be reminded that you need a power greater than yourself. Talking about there's only one way. There's only one way to beat an addiction, and that's to outsmart it. Like, that is dangerous to be putting out there on YouTube. I don't know. And I think she lives near me. Can't stand that witch. That pisses me off. That's dangerous misinformation to be putting out there and have, you know what I mean? And I know I've put information out there that I believed that I feel wretched about. You know what I mean? Our thinkers are broken. You're right. It's a disease. We are powerless over it. We have to hand our will and our life over to the care of a power greater than ourselves, God as we understand it. Do you think I want to be like that? No. I would love to be. As you can't outsmart it. It's not hard to outsmart it. It's impossible. Let's see. Let's name some extremely smart people that caught their death by addiction. Well, Jordan Peterson, one of the smartest people I've ever heard speak, was strung out on benzos for a good while. Which makes sense, because if you got a brain of that power, you're going to need to tone it down a little bit every once in a while. But what are some other really smart individuals that just couldn't? I know a ton of them in AA. Shit, I'm one of them. Ernest Hemingway, one of the greatest writers of all time. For Whom the Bell Tolls. The Old Man and the Sea. That other one about the mountain. He drank himself to death and shot him. Well, he shot himself. Chester Bennington, Lincoln Park. Rafe says, I'm really trying to connect with that higher power. I've been having crazy mood swings today. I've been an agnostic until 6 months ago, Rafe. My sponsor asked me 2 simple questions. Have you ever prayed for the willingness to believe? And who are you to say that there is no God? And that was it for me. I prayed for the willingness to believe because I was desperate enough. And the answer to the question, who am I to say there is no God? Well, I'm not God, so how can I say there is no God? The smartest person on earth can't prove that God exists or doesn't exist. So who am I to say there is no God? So, Rafe, I don't know if you were saying you're having trouble believing, but a God of your understanding is all you need. My God of my understanding doesn't have an image. I don't call it a him or a her. It is an all-powerful, basically, reality. I hand my will and my life over to the care of reality. Basically, it is what it is, universe. And a leap of faith had me saying, God will give me everything I need. Sometimes I don't know what I want. Even if I just think I know what I want, I will get everything I need if I do the right thing and I trust in God. And that has made me a believer. And I understand now what everyone talks about when they talk about trusting in God. I don't understand some of the religions. I don't understand, but I think it's the same concept. It's basically just a belief. I mean, people believe in the Bible. That's a power greater than them. It's old. It's historic. It's got big words. But the key is belief, I think. But what do I know? Many more people much smarter than I have found happiness, joy, and freedom through believing, working the third step and the 11th step of handing your will and your life over to the care of a God as you understand it. I met this guy in Detox, Shade says, who had been in and out of prison, who got sober, and Oh, John Venturini's a member, Sober Stellic stage crew. Oh, I gotta rename my tiers. Thank you, John Venturini. Oh, you get access to all the members only videos, which I'm actually going to start releasing my relapse videos into. I don't want my relapse videos just floating around the internet because it's very irresponsible. But I do think that anyone becomes a member knows where I'm at now, and that those videos are just part of my journey. I also know that they were some of the most popular videos, and that, people find them entertaining, but also enlightening. Hey Rod, are you still smoking weed and doing shrooms? No. I gave up the weed. I gave up booze November 30th, and I was smoking weed and doing shrooms still, until I realized that they too are taking my life away by means of, I'm an addict, I'm obsessed. I will get obsessed with it and not do life. Many other reasons, but that's in a nutshell. So I sold all my weed paraphernalia, my tents. I sold a 4-foot tall plant. I still have a bunch of mason jars from when I grew weed. I really did love it, but I had to get rid of it. I was trusting in my higher power, made a leap of faith and said, you know what? I got a rock to drop. If you've ever read Drop the Rock, these rocks that we hold on to, these character defects that are doing nothing but negative things for us in life, me wanting to get messed up on anything is a rock that I'm holding on to, and I've been drowning my entire life. The analogy is, a bunch of your friends are on a boat. They're headed to an island where they will find happiness, peace, joyous, and freedom. You're swimming to get on the boat, but you just can't make it and you keep going under. Somebody on the boat is yelling, drop the rock. That rock you're carrying, those rocks you're carrying, sometimes we don't even realize we're carrying them. They can be anger, they can be, sexual behavior, they can be smoking weed when you're supposed to be. So my addiction, and everyone's disease of addiction, is cunning, baffling, and powerful. Mine was cunning enough to tell me that weed is all right, that it is beneficial for some people, and it can be beneficial in ways for me. However, the consequences outweigh the benefits, and that's the literal definition of addiction. So I had to give up weed. Mushrooms, I've had to give up too, and psychedelics, I think all psychedelics, but mushrooms for sure now, because I'm on an SSRI, Prozac, and there is a reaction between the two. Also, in all of the years that I've told myself I'm going to be microdosing, I've never once microdosed. I'm an addict. I take anywhere from 1 shroom to 28.5 grams, a whole ounce. I'm an addict. I get stoked. I have a mental obsession about getting messed up, altered. And the reason for that is it's easy. It's easy to get messed up. It's easy to smoke a joint and be cool with the world and feel relaxed and everything. So this addict says, I'm going to do it from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep. Yes, weed. Weed is not just weed for me. A shrink told me that years and years ago. And just like many other things, my addict brain blocked it like a goalie at a soccer match or a hockey ring. Well, when you're obsessed about drugs and alcohol, you don't care about driving drunk. You don't care about getting caught with weed, mushrooms. You don't care about any of that stuff. Your obsession, your mental obsession, which is what we all have as addicts, it starts with a mental obsession and carries on to a physical reaction of a phenomenon of craving. We're obsessed until we take the drug, and the drug takes over. We don't take the drug takes us. Yeah, I know you're talking to shades. Weed, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. Spicy Peaches drank mushroom coffee today and was pissed I didn't feel any different. Oh, some mushrooms, you might have had psilocybe cubensis. Some are weaker than others. Newer strains are more powerful, but I ate a whole ounce of psilocybe cubensis. And, I was tripping on my 42nd birthday. I was tripping so hard. My face was going through emotions. Every muscle in my face was expressing every motion that a muscle can express, but at a lightning speed. It was crazy. I almost live streamed it. Won't mention what again, Miss Ford? If you stop mentioning things, you know what I mean? If you stop mentioning things, don't make me come up there. No, I don't know what you're talking. Miss Ford, you're always feeling guilty. Clear the wreckage of your past. Trust in God, clean house, help others. Read the big book. Go to meetings, get a sponsor. Trust in God, clean house, help others. Read the big book. Go to meetings, get a sponsor. Need I say it again? I'm talking to everybody who isn't reading the big book, going to meetings, and getting a sponsor. The reason I say it like this is because I didn't listen. I don't know why, and I'm not mad. I know it's beyond my control. But it is very saddening and frustrating to see people not listen like I didn't listen. Well, you listen and you hear it, and I heard it and I listened and I got it, but I just didn't do it. Like what? You don't trust it. It defies all logic. Caffeine, I drink very little, but I will drink a lot just because it's a drug. That's my first thoughts on caffeine, Rafe. What up, Jaber? Jimmy James, doing anything for Memorial Day weekend? I might go see some horses tomorrow. And I might be playing pool volleyball on Sunday. Or I might just ditch both of them and lay around on my couch like a bum. What are the 3 distinct visions that shamans have? I'm not sure how to answer that, Michael. God's direction, that's what you need to do. Pray every day. So far, it hasn't led me to AA, but who knows? It comes when it comes. God isn't on a clock. Take the earth being like, billions of years old for God isn't on your clock. God's on his clock or her clock or its clock. Spicy says, I don't reach out to my sponsor all the time because I already know what she's going to say. Yeah, that's what I do before I drink. They say call me before you drink, not after you drink. My thoughts are, if I call you, I'm not going to drink. That's because I'm sick. It's the same thing with naltrexone and the Sinclair method. If you present me with a pill that will take away my alcohol buzz, and I'm still in active addiction, I'm not going to take the pill. In fact, the 12 steps of AA is a perfect blueprint. All logic and wisdom says that it has worked for 100 years, and we still don't do it because we're addicts. When we do it, do. I gotta let my dogs in. Mikey won't come anywhere near me because I gave him a bath today, so he won't come to the door. Kratom is bad. At the point, you might as well be drinking. Yeah, Kratom's bad, dude. Had me dry heaving and stuff back in the day. James be looking like you got jaundice, he says. Oh, I know what's doing that. Watch this. Your mama looked like she got jaundice. Let me bust in here and ask you something. A guy I know who doesn't know I'm an alcoholic knows who I am. He replied to my latest video. Okay. That's more of a statement than a question. I told him to keep it on the DL. You told the internet to keep it on a DL. All right. Yeah, there's honesty is always the best way. I mean, what have they been saying since since the dawn of time? The truth will set you free. The way I've always seen it is the way I've always seen it is there's addiction is a disease. Anybody who tells me I can stop drinking whenever I want, there's no sense in calling it beyond my control. Obviously doesn't know what they're talking about. And I fear for them. Well, I mean, at least they're not addicts. That's what I mean, unless they're in like some deep denial. Hashtag jaundice. Right. Yeah, I honestly don't, the anonymity thing, God, what is up? The anonymity thing was more for the benefit of AA as a whole. And if you're going to be on the internet, you know what I mean? Sunglasses aren't going to protect you. Obviously. Not obviously, but I guess apparently. Works within your profession. Bro, let me tell you a short story. I worked as an an industrial commercial electrical apprentice. I was going to a 5-year journeyman school, and the director of that school was pissed that I kept on getting either fired from the jobs that he was getting me, or I wrapped my Explorer around a tree in 2007, had to be out of work for 3 months. He didn't know that was because I was drunk driving. But when later things happened, me and old Rick, his name was Rick Cataldo, director of the Tri-City Joint Apprenticeship and Training Committee of Electrician Union 236. I don't know why I'm giving all this, just to sound like I know what I'm talking about. But anyway, after a bunch of shit was happening on the job, and I was obvious something was up, I finally came clean, and it was just like, dude, I'm an alcoholic. I crashed my car in August. That's why I was out of work, and I couldn't for like a year. You know what I mean? That's why these things keep happening. And he looked at me and he goes, oh, that makes sense. This guy was a dick too. But he goes, well, you should have told me that. We got a guy for that. And he picked up the phone and dialed a guy. Within a week or two, I was in San Diego in rehab on the union's dime. So my main point is, the world is a lot more understanding of addicts, especially if you are in recovery. Not very understanding to those that are still active, and not very tolerant to those who are still active. But in recovery, yes. But I don't know what job you are, you know what I mean? I don't know what job you're in or whatever, but all I'm saying is the truth will set you free. This is my experience, but it's also like in songs and poems and stuff. Or in a meme that I saw once of a lion and it said, "The truth is like a lion. Just let it free and let it protect itself." See, I haven't punched a clock in so long, maybe I'm in the wrong. I haven't punched a clock in so long either. And Miss Ford, you have some, I don't know, maybe you are wrong. I will tell you, you think you're wrong very often, and it's apparent to me that it is in your head, in my opinion. Respect yourself. Don't disrespect yourself and feel guilty about these things. Respect yourself. You'll get it together. Your hashtag Holly Ford. Beef glizzies. Miss Ford, the sickness of addiction, alcoholism, is more than just drinking. It's restlessness, irritability, discontent, ego run wild, self-will run riot. We're fighting everyone and everything. It's what I did on the job sites. It's probably what you do too. It's a disease of the mind and the spirit. Yeah, well, you know what I mean? At least you didn't die in his bathroom. Jabes, they took her, Jabes. They took her, Jabes. What? They took her jabs. Yeah, hit that. I saw that love button being hit. Hit that thumbs up if I bring value to your life with these, and share it with someone you love as well. Look for my new short if you're not used to scrolling through shorts. Give it a thumbs up and a comment. It helps the algorithm, but only if you like it. Only do these things if you like it. And John Venturini, thank you for being my 23rd member. You are the 4th member of Soberdelic Stage Crew, soon to be Sober James Stage Crew, in 2 days. Not saying I'm going to get sober in 2 days. I've been sober since November 30th, 2023. But I am going about the arduous task of rebranding the entire channel Sober James again. I know how to laugh at myself now, which is good, but like, I am one indecisive dude. I'm like, I'm doing shrooms now, I'm Soberdelic James. Wait a second, I'm sober, I'm Sober James. Yes, thank you, John Venturini. If anyone else would like to join to help me carry the message and pay my internet bill, the join button is in the description at the top of the chat or on my channel homepage. Join is the only thing you have to click. And I now have 23 members. I'm getting closer and closer to being able to pay my bills and do this for a living. Thank you. Well, Miss Ford, you got to take your meds to make sure you're on the right one. I don't mean to be harsh with you, but you do skip your meds for... Maybe there's a subconscious underlying reason that you skip your meds. You don't believe in them. I don't know. But it's something to talk to your doctor about. Although I don't really trust doctors either. Trust yourself, but don't trust yourself. I don't know. Life is so confusing sometimes. I might try to come off of Prozac very slowly. I've already begun to. By means of messaging my prescriber, but I would like to come off of Prozac. But to be honest, that might just be my addiction talking, working its way back to mushrooms. To be completely honest, it's telling me that that psychedelics have been known to curb depression and anxiety and all but cure it. And they can be really fun sometimes, and all kinds of stuff my addiction tells me, like, well, you don't do anything else, you might as well do some psychedelics. But this is just me struggling with the beast of addiction that's either doing push-ups in my driveway waiting for me, or pounding on my door, or waking me up in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Thank you, Tony G. Alex Patience, careful. Well, thank you. Thank you, Alex Patience. I was going to be totally reckless and carefree until you said that. I'm just kidding. Thanks for, oh man. No, but thank you. Yeah, I do have to be careful. Oh, good, Miss Ford. I'm glad. It's very easy to get into the routine of taking your meds. Just take them every day. And then in 7 to 14 days, it'll become a habit. Jay Tabor says, I got a Domino's ad and some sort of internet service ad because I'm watching on my Switch and my phone. Right on, right on. All right, y'all, it is time for me to relax. John Venturini says, journaling, meditation, and therapy is paramount. If you don't like your therapist, find another one. They have to meld to your style as you do theirs. Once you find the right one, then you're good. Right, I had a good psychotherapist one time. His name was Lou. And he was basically like, James, I'm just your sounding board and essentially your cheerleader. And we found out that I have an inferiority complex. And in the rooms of AA, they often say we are egomaniacs with inferiority complexes. I'm not much, but I'm all I think about. You know what I mean? And the key, I was told, is being humble doesn't mean thinking less of yourself. Being humble means thinking less of yourself. Or no. I was once told that being humble doesn't mean to think less of yourself. It means to think of yourself less. On that note, I'm Sober James. When are you going to do some more video game live streaming? When I get this channel together and I'm riding on routine and revenue, enough revenue to pay my bills, enough revenue to stop working so hard and stop stressing about it, I will then have the time and energy to begin a branch off of the channel, something like let's play video games and not, instead of drink, let's do some sober gaming, something like that. I got some ideas. I hear you, Jay. And John Venturini says, stay safe, stay sane, stay strong, stay sober. You're worth it. And Miss Ford, you're amazing. Good night, Vinny Vintage. Well, that's why I support you, so let's do some gaming. Oh, okay. Jay says, get to work. Whoosh, cracking the whip. All right, boss. All right. Yes, I do have a PS5, and I will. I do also have ADHD, so I do have to hyper-focus on getting the channel rebranded and together after I made such a mess of it smoking weed for 2.5 years. Steve Nick, and can you do a shroom stream? I'll see what God has to say about that, Steve. And I'll take some mushrooms so I can hear him quicker. That's my addict. That's an impression of my addict talking. I'll see what God has, God's will. If God's will has it in it, If it's in God's will, then I'll do it. If it not, no can do, bro. I'll let you know. As of right now, I'm not on anything. I'm not doing mushrooms, weed. You know, the coffee is once a morning. The nicotine is in mint form and is soon to be none. But yeah, thanks for being here, and thanks again. Let's hear that John Venturini membership one more time. Wait, oh wait, I think I. Oh, I jumped the gun. I jumped the gun. Become a member. I can't even believe how cool that is. Oh, my alert box isn't working. I think this thing needs an update. 3 grams is nothing to do, James. He needs like 30 grams. My man is a truck. Yeah, man, I understand you. But you ain't my God, son, so I can't listen to you. For real. You know, if it's in the cards, it's in the cards. Right now, it is not. Sober James is in full effect these days, and he will be tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until then, I'm Sober James. Keep it clean, keep it real, and keep doing the damn thing. Peace.